All right. This is effectively the third time I've tried to do this. There's uh, excuse me. Some heavy reconstruction going on right now in on many different realms and many different dimensions, and that's a fact. There goes Ophelia. I'm gonna go ahead and try to power through this because it's actually super uncomfortable for me for multiple reasons. It does need to be addressed. However, and I did say today was that day. So I'm gonna start with this is the proof of heaven. I think that was just a little comic relief. She was being the anyway, this is by Eben Alexander. I don't know if you've ever read that book, Alexander and the No Good, Very Bad, Terrible, the No Good, Terrible, Very Bad Debt, and something like that. Anyway, it's a children's book. Oop. If you've never read it before, you should go take a look at it. It has a pretty solid message about what it means to be willing to start over again once you have dealt with your grief, your setbacks, I guess you could say, the things that deter you once you've delved extremely as deep as you possibly could into the ifs, ands, and buts of yourself, and have come out the other side. So the other day I just had this realization, and it was just a small recording. It was a voice recording that I made for myself. It was just a note to self to remember that some people don't have the luxury of having any limbs at all. I don't remember what the woman's name is. I think it's like Yaya or something. It's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but there's an agent and she has fought so much with the future and the outcomes that could possibly become in the future that she actually gets both of her arms cut off. And I don't know if her name is like Gaga or Gigi or Yaya or G. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to look it up eventually. But this is the proof of heaven, the neurosurgeon's journey into the afterlife. And I think a really great comparison, or at least a great side-by-side with this book, is specifically the book called Sum, S-U-M, by David Eagleman. He does a really good job talking about neuroplasticity, so the ability for your brain to change. This is a neurosurgeon's snapshot look at the afterlife, near life or near death experiences, NDEs. This is about people who have actually literally died for a significant portion of time in whatever space, and the specific space would be like on the table. They died on the table during surgery and then came back again. This is the energy of return to me. If you've never seen that movie, it's the journey of a heart. And that's exactly how I'm going to phrase it. It goes literally from one person's original body into another human body that needs it after life suddenly is taken. And because the other body needs it so much, basically the memories from the heart end up recurring in the new body. It's the reignition of a soul's mission, its flame, its trajectory, its direction, pathology, journey, whatever way it took. When you come back from heaven, or when you come back from the edge of that precipice, you have the key that is similar to the key of Enoch. You've experienced the other side and come back again. It is somewhat of a phenomenon to I do want to say, I don't know why I'm hearing this, but it's almost like the dogs are speaking from the other side, but it's like the seeing eye human world. Seeing eye human. I think the dogs and the cats and the angels, more or less, the innocents, are going to send some seeing eye humans, is what I'm hearing, to help us learn how to hold on to this a little bit more vigilantly. And when we do that, those thunder tracks become very loud, thunderous. You know what you're actually hearing when you hear thunder? You're hearing them, like, everything coming back together again. It's the reunification. That's the lightning, is the splitting. It's the separation. It's the chopping apart. It's the rip in the time-space continuum that allows us to see this flash. It's the Men in Black flash, you know. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but I just did. So now, I just did. So now I'm just now I'm gonna bury myself. I'm gonna take off just like Ophelia, and I'm sticking to my story, okay? I don't want to talk about it. This is my recipe for quiche. In particular, I don't know what pie you speak of. What cobbler? Huh? Cake? What? Cheese? Never. Okay. So this is page 95. Chapter 18. To forget and to remember. It says my awareness was larger now. So large, it seemed to take in the entire universe. Have you ever listened to a song on a static-filled radio station? You get used to it. There's a song by Nadia Rose called Station. You should go listen to it. Then someone adjusts the dial and you hear the same song in its full clarity. How could you have failed to notice how dim, how far away, how entirely untrue to the original it was before? Of course, that's how the mind works. Humans are built to adapt. I'd explained my patients many times, this or that, discomfort would lessen, or at least seem to lessen. As their bodies and brains adapt to the new situation, something goes on long enough and your brain learns to ignore it. So that pain, that phantom pain that I was talking about, you can choose to relive the trauma and die a little bit every time you relive it, right? Can't clear it out, it's that trauma bonding, right? Or you can flip things all the way over and you can choose to kind of shuffle around, not in a bad way, but this is like the morning shuffle to the bathroom. It's for relief sake, right? And I'm telling you this because when you're a bee in a hive and the same trauma that made you feel like you needed to go for a smoke ends up giving you the relief that you need to just make it to the next day? Would you prefer to die today, or would you prefer that tomorrow you're going to see the light? The subsequent light after the moon that you cannot see in this moment right here. That's what I'm asking. That's the overall key there. It's the propensity to do such, right? Humans are built to adapt. I'd explained to my patients many times that this or that discomfort would lessen, or at least seem to lessen, as their bodies and brains adapted to the new situation. Something goes on long enough and your brain learns to ignore it, or work around it, or just treat it as normal. Don't ever get used to that feeling of thinking that something is normal, that everything is as it should be. There's a peace of mind that it does, I think, come over those who are about to experience death. Do you see the star? Do you see the light at the end of the tunnel? That's something you're not supposed to experience until you're about to die. And once you've seen it, there's really no unseeing it. It is so bright, so brilliant, so loving, so ethereal. And you could call it Lucifer because it's so tempting. It's so bright. It's so, it's blinding in a specific way. It's running into the darkness because you saw the light. Do you see the lightning bolt now? Because in a moment, maybe not even this lifetime, but you will hear it. There will be a residual coming together of yourself with your own courage. It's going to happen. But our limited earthly consciousness is far from simply normal. And I was getting my first illustration of this as I traveled even deeper to the very heart of the core. Not kidding, that's what it says. I'm not making this up, I swear. I'm a really good author when I want to be or need to be. However, I'm not making this up. That's what's written. I still remember nothing of my earthly past. And yet, I was not the less for this. Just how much love you can give and how much love you can take. What feels better to you? What feels best to you? What's optimal? Even though I'd forgotten my life down here, I had remembered who I really and truly was out there. I was a citizen of a universe staggering in its vastness and complexity and ruled entirely by love. This is what this text says. I'm not I'm a channel. So when I say please don't shoot the messenger, I literally mean you can stand face to face with me and you can get as mad as you want to get. It is not my job to deal with your anger. It is my job to give the message. That's it. That's all. You want the currency? You want to know where the money is? You want to know how to stay on the money? You want to know why? You want to know who, what, when, where, why, and how? Because that's the answer to life. You see the keys facing each other? Face to face. This is a talisman of love. It is a symbol of love. It is a sign of love. I don't know how else to help in general humanity understand what train of thought they need to be on and about. Hello, Ophelia. Would you like to come back down here again? Yeah, she's thinking about it. But this isn't really a good enough reason for things to fall into disarray just because we're all trying to get to the same place today. Same place today. Okay? That's what this is saying, to forget and to remember. What is it to be or not to be? Which one are you encouraging? Which one are you asking for? Because we cannot simultaneously continue what it is that we have been doing. We are really behind. We're at me personally, I'm in like delinquency in terms of my spiritual, physical literacy. Still with the yes and masses, not because I want to be, but because that's where we all have our lowest vibration right now. You are as strong as the weakest link or the weakest member of your team. There's Shango, and I just pulled the courage card, trying to show us these lightning bolt downloads from the ethers, right? You're gonna catch on fire if humans are not meant to be catching that many like laser focused downloads unless there is community, unless there is also water available, water that is not on sale. It might reside in the sky on cloud 9 or elsewhere. I don't know how many times we're gonna review, nor do I care. This is the water that is being poured from now both directions onto what would otherwise become a fire. This would be a burn victim if there was not water coming from this direction. You see that teapot? Do you see this teapot? I want to say, I'm gonna just put it out there. These are the honey pots. These are the honey pots that were almost annihilated, almost taken down, almost unavailable to prevent your forest fire. This is Smokey the Bear. I'm just seeing Smokey and Yogi the Bear. One is up top. One is like catching, like, oh my gosh, there's an ember in your hair. Your hair is about to blow up. Your hair is about to catch on fire. That's the ember. That's Smokey the Bear. He's saying, look at your head. Do you see him? He's like, oh my gosh, your hair just caught on fire, right? Or there's Yogi the Bear. And I don't remember what Yogi says. I've been trying to remember all week. But I am just going to say this is a respectful way of saying, like, down there you're good. Like, you're innocent, you know? But he is saying, like, there's a grace that has been offered. That's, it's almost like you're a spirit guide being like, you know, that was a little too close for comfort. Remember I said this was going to be an uncomfortable reading? That's what I mean. Yes. Okay. So here's the current spirit. I don't know if you've ever read that book. I think it's by Pearl. I know it's not Cleavage, but I think it's Pearl something. It's called Some Things I Never Thought I'd Do. I read that book a long time ago, and there's a man called Blue in that book. For some reason, just today, I'm remembering Blue because of the blue skies behind him. And Blue had blue eyes. He was Haitian. And in that specific book, the woman reminds me of Angela Bassett in waiting to exhale. But he's so in touch with his ancestry. This is blue, and this is his ancestry. This is the foundational Stonehenge that has an eye always on his blue eye. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the blue-eyed energy coming through as well. There's something about being in line with that and having the reflection of the ocean in one eye so that you can put the fire out when you need to. And also being able to go with the flow. So this one's more teal. You know what I'm saying? Like this one's more with sea salts or chlorine added so that this doesn't happen again. It's automatic retardants, right? This is the ability to see it coming. This is the ability to prevent it. This is similar to preventative medicine. Oh my gosh, I just opened this deck to put this back and ancestors flew out. So we now have ancestors. We have blue. Look, nothing else is on this table. I literally just picked up the deck like that. And so this is number 3 right here, which is Mama Bridget. It's like a bridge. I will not be the bridge. This is ancestors saying, I only have enough ancestral energy or momentum or literal, I'm hearing like the heartbeat or the rhythm. I only have enough. Someone's saying I only have enough rhythm for this, or there's also like this weird accent coming through that's kind of like, I need to make water. So in the same way that someone says, I need to make water when they need to go to the bathroom. That's what it is. There it is. Then this is in the same way someone saying like, I only have enough energy for like 3. For 3. And I don't know if that means 3 separate entities or one person who needs to have this foundation very firmly. There's like melted down candles. Oh my gosh, that's what I'm saying. This 3 just fell. And right behind it is Santeria. Santeria. Oh my God, it's almost like someone is holding back Santeria for just long enough that somebody else's innocent voice can be heard from the ancestors. Oh my God, that was so draining. That took a lot of energy to get through. Whew. That's what I'm saying is like, I literally feel kind of drained right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So from future ancestors, this was pushing through the current blue-eyed, I don't know, whatever energy this is right here with the thunder tracks and the blue-eyed evil eye right here. That's the same energy that's right here. Okay, so there's somebody, this will resonate with somebody. This is kind of like saying number 3. If think about Divergent, right? That movie Divergent. Tris is like it's like 3 of them, a trifecta, or a whatever trip. I don't know, right? This is a 3. This is that your path is to be a divergent. Your ancestors were that, you are currently that, and your current bloodline, your current foundational energy only has this much support up under it to the power of, or up under this teepee, or under this roof, this shelter. This is how much energy I have to hold the space for you. I'm seeing somebody sitting inside of this, or maybe this being like a dunce hat or a teepee, literally over someone's head. It's like your ancestors have already cleansed themselves as well as you of the burden of needing to move forward and backwards. So this energy typically would be pushing this way, right? And instead, this time, either this Thunderbird energy is pushing you forward without you having to flap your wings whatsoever. And I do want to put it like that. It's like somebody literally taking care of you from head to foot. That's what those two tracks are from here, head to foot. It's the soles of your hands, the palm of your hand, the sole of your foot hitting the ground. It's almost like somebody's walking for you. Somebody is holding peace, your sacred space, very sacred for you, and there is a specific reason why. This is the ancestral pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that's here. These are the clouds in the sky. You've been given the grace of the clouds in the sky. There's something about this that's like super it's purified. I don't really know how else to put this energy. This is like Tuck Everlasting energy, and this is this is your ancestor sitting on top of the well that is Tuck Everlasting, and saying you do have the grace of drinking from this water, this purified sky water that has fallen specifically down your cheeks for a specific reason, to show you grace, right? But because of what these two things mean together, or unified, when they come together, you really need to think about it. It's the two X's. It's grandmother 1 and grandmother 2 coming together in your current generational embodiment. And the only reason why you would have to think about this is because, if you can see this, there's actually two entities up top that are wearing other skins. Then down below, there's the body of a snake. It's all you can see is scales moving across a still frame. It's kind of like fossilized snails, because they're buried deeply underneath the surface. These are the two shadowy figures. The man and the woman, the woman and the woman, the man and the man. I don't really care what your orientation is. I don't. What I'm trying to tell you is that there's something. Do you see this snake? There's something scaled. There's something weighing something out down below. And even deeper than that, all you can see is hands reaching for that scaly, slimy, slithering piece of DNA. And you don't know if it's a tail, you don't know if it's a neck, could be a waist. For all you know, it could be a tentacle. But all these people sure do seem to be praying for or against it. This is either pray as in I'm praying for you, or you will become my prey, as in I am the predator. Either way, this is super interesting energy in this chapter 18, page 95. We're going to go on a little bit. Even though I'd forgotten my life down here, I had remembered who I really and truly was out there. I was a citizen of a universe staggering in its vastness and complexity, and ruled entirely by love. In an almost eerie way, my discoveries beyond the body echoed the lessons I had just learned a year earlier through reconnecting with my birth family. Okay, so this is memory, like proof of heaven, right? But it's also talking about adoption. So that's weird that I was just saying somehow somebody is currently connecting with future, current, and past energies all at the same time. This is 3, 4, and 2. So effectively, if we were to rearrange these, it would be 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 2. Which ironically, 2 could just simply represent X and X, which are the two lives that you live simultaneously as an adopted person. Okay. Ultimately, none of us are orphans. Ironically enough, did a reading on that already. There's 10 of Cups. Happiness. We are all in the position I was, in that we have other family beings who are watching and looking out for us. We have momentarily forgotten, but who, if we open ourselves up to their presence, are waiting to help us navigate our time here on Earth. Oh, none of us are ever unloved. Oh, I wish I hadn't already put the loved card out. I already put it out. You saw it. It was here. Each and every one of us is deeply known and cared for by a creator who cherishes us beyond any ability we have to comprehend. That knowledge must no longer remain a secret. And with that, this says no longer remain a secret is the end. It's the very last sentence of chapter 18. This is chapter 19, which begins on page 97. I think this is like one of the sweeter messages I've gotten for a while. Except for this one. So I've just been pulling, the cards out as they may. I'll show you this, okay. I'm just gonna move this out of the way over here. Nothing to see over here. However, over here, this is what I mean by, like, sometimes I feel almost just humbled, embarrassed, like I'm blushing from universal love, because when I look down at the table, this is the first thing I see. It's just another number 3. And all of the past, the present, and the future, kind of skeletons in the closet, tumbling out so that I don't have to deal with it. It's just really, this is also the symbiotic relationship laying right here. It's the give and take with the universe. For those of you who don't understand currency, this is it. This is currency. You may think that it's foolish, but there's also Santeria, which is the Gnosticism or the snake coming out to love her, whether that means bite her, curl up next to her, or become Medusa, part of her hair and bloodline. It doesn't really matter. This is the same reverence that you would have if you were scuba diving in the depths of the Bermuda Triangle and some octopus or squid or eel, electric eel, came up and wrapped itself around you. There's no pain. Whether that means you've just been electrocuted and numbed completely out, I have no clue. It has much more to do with the truth of the matter, which is that there is a different perspective, and that there's always going to be a butterfly cocooning of self, where you get to emerge seeing everything in a different way. You get to quit your old vision and begin seeing and viewing and building a new existence that doesn't have to be the existence and does not have to become the existence that you had before. It's just brand new, and you get to turn the wheel, the neck, like any way you want to. You feel me? Say yes. Yes. Okay. Last card. This is the Motherhood deck. Well, I'm only drawing one because I'm literally so drained right now. I can't even. I'm probably slurring. Probably slightly cross-eyed. Probably also coming across as vexed. Hopefully not. I'm not vexed. I'm just very much choosing myself in this moment. So yes, this is the Nine of Cups. This is a whole bunch of happiness. Very much cheers to those of you who have been looking forward to this moment as I have. And it's similar to have just having had 1 month after giving birth. It's exhaustion from visitation, from excitement, from pushing, from love.